Hello, welcome to You Ask, I Answer. Occasionally, I have people asking me about pricing, fair value of a book, and I always recommend GPA, short for GP analysis. I'm sure many people that collect slabs are aware of that site, but for those that are not, there's a link below. I used to subscribe to the site when I was more active in buying and selling slabs, but I'm no longer in that market, so I no longer subscribe to the service. The service is fantastic, it's wonderful, but at the same time, it's a guide. Okay, one of the things, it's a historical record of transaction, but at the same time, it is a guide. I think one of the flaw of GPA is the human flaw. As a buyer, we want to buy things below GPA, and as sellers, we want to sell things above GPA. If everyone buy things at GPA or below GPA, price would be stagnate. There will be no appreciation of anything. Okay, so keep that in mind when you make an offer or want to buy a book. At the end of the day, if the market in general just want to pay GPA or below GPA, then you can throw the word investment out of the window as far as this hobby is concerned. The problem with GPA is that it's not its own fault. It's a great service, but because it only can capture a portion of the activities, so it's not the entire picture. Okay, not to say that it's not useful. It is useful, but there are auction house, especially comiclink, that does not report to GPA. So the thousands and thousands of slabs that comiclink auction every month are not recorded on GPA, as well as many transactions that happen at conventions. Private collectors, when I sell a slab to anybody, it's not recorded. So there's a lot of transactions that are not captured by GPA, and it's not GPA's fault. It's just there is no way to verify some of those transactions, so I understand why they will not capture. The other issues with GPA is that because it doesn't have the capability of capturing the picture of the book, a lot of time it can confuse the potential user. For example, I'm pulling up a very good example of this problem. You're looking at Daredevil 4. Okay, you have the 6.5 with a lower price than a 6.0. The 6.0 went for $142. The 6.5 went for $80. The 5.0 went for $70, almost as much as the 6.5. Why is that? Because at the end of the day, the technical grade is one thing. The GPA is able to capture the technical grades, as well as now they have been able to capture the page quality. There was a time years ago where all you get is the technical grade and the certification number, but you don't have the page quality. So now at least you can see the page quality, but ultimately the technical grades will be taken into consideration, as well as appearances of the book, and the appearances of the book sometimes can trump the overall price. So just look at if you look at the 6.0, the 5.0, even the 4.5, they all have a wider, brighter cover, right? Compared to the 6.5. On top of that, the 6.5 has a small handwriting on the cover, and it's off-white. Okay, so overall, that hurts the value of the 6.5. The price people are willing to pay for the 6.0 much more because it's a much brighter, wider covers. So appearances trump technical grades, okay? And that's something that, as user of GPA, I always advise people that, when you're looking at GPA averages over the 90 days or whatever period you want to use, you have to look at the range of the prices on any given grade, and you almost have to assume that the anomalies are caused by appearances. You know, like this, when you see a 6.5 going so much lower than a 6.0, unless you see the picture, you have to assume that the 6.5 have a very poor appearances compared to the 6.0. One other thing about Silver Age Marvel is Marvel chipping. Okay, that have a huge impact on prices, especially on Silver Age keys. You know, whenever you're looking at, you know, final value of, say, Amazing Fantasy 15 across many grades, you see a fairly decent range of prices because many Amazing Fantasy 15 have chips, and those that are chip free will command a bigger premium, maybe 10% more, maybe even higher. You know, if you have a beautiful Amazing Fantasy 15 with off-white to white page or white page with no chipping, that will command a huge premium over a similar technical grades with chipping and cream page. So you have to take into account those things when you're looking at using GPA. The averages, the average is the average. Okay, if you're gonna go and buy a Silver Age keys that have bright covers, good page quality, by that I mean off-white to white and no chipping, you are going to pay the high end of the range. You're not gonna get average or below average unless you get lucky. There's always lucky chance of getting something for cheap, but that's what it is, luck, not you know, not something that you should expect to get. You know, so whenever anyone asks me about what should I pay for this, my first question is, show me a picture, show me the appearances of the book, and then we can look at GPA averages and see what's reasonable and what's not. That's it. I hope I answered the questions for anyone that was curious on my opinion on GPA. Overall, it is useful service. I highly recommend those that are active in the slab buying and slab selling market, as well as keys collector. If you are a keys collector, it's good to subscribe to that service, especially if you're buying and selling.